First thing that comes to my mind is obviously the coal dust that blows from its premises and settles in my house and in mine and in my children's lungs. But now there is a larger problem. Earlier it was restricted only to coal. Now it is something much larger. The problem that MPT is creating is much larger, in the sense that now with the enactment of the Major Ports Authorities Act 2021, MPT now has, or MPA now has unfettered powers over its port limits, which, as you know, extend right from Zuari Bridge, from the Kortali ferry up to Raj Bhavan, and then 7.5 nautical miles out into the sea. That's around 14 kilometers, and then up to Harosi Beach in Kansali village, and then Betul Port. So now the Major Ports Authorities Act enables or empowers MPT to carry out any development, any put up any project there without seeking the prior permission or even informing the state government or the authorities or the local bodies. So they are MPT is now going to be a state within a state. Our Goa Town and Country Planning Act, our Land Revenue Code, our Municipalities Act, our Panchayats Act, Land Revenue Code, nothing is going to apply to MPT's territorial area henceforth. In addition to the water area, our state government itself had granted our government land around 16 lakh square meters in the year 2001 to MPT free of cost. Okay, and in addition to that, around 6 lakhs square meters has been dredged and has been encroached upon by MPT from the Zuari River area along their operational port operational area. So now the total area in land is about 22 lakh square meters. So in this 22 lakh square meters, and in the water area, which will be surprised, comes to about 1,500 square kilometers. The Goa government will have no say indirectly. The people of Goa will have no say in what this Major Ports Authority does within this area. So they can do anything that they want. The Act also provides that if that they will prepare their own master plan, and if their master plan is in conflict with the master plan prepared by the state government, like our regional plan or ODP, then the master plan prepared by the Major Ports Authority will supersede and override the plans prepared by the state government. So in other words, MPT will now, MPA will now be a state within a state. They will be able to do whatever they want within their territorial area, within their port limits, and the state government and thereby the people of Goa will not be able to do anything. My primary concern is the protection, or if at all there is any, that will be available to our traditional fisher and coastal communities. Who will protect them? Who will take care of their interest is a big question mark. Then along the coast, the tourism stakeholders, even now we've had cases where shacks have to take prior permission of the Murmungao Port Trust. Even recently we've had that problem. So where this is going to end, I really do not know. I think the enforcement of the Major Ports Authorities Act is a turning point in Goa's history. And as time passes, the true impact will be known to the people of Goa. I shudder to think actually what consequences will follow.
Do you think it was all planned prior on?
This is part of the Sagarmala project. In fact, this is the last mile of the Sagarmala project. With this, the Sagarmala project is now complete. So now what they have done is, earlier they have created the infrastructure, they have done all these things, and now they have created a port authority which is going to be corporatized, which is going to be listed on the stock exchange. So you are going to be having corporates who will be coming and buying a stake, a majority stake in these corporate entities, and thereby they will be having an indirect access to our water and land area in the state of Goa. Why it is important for Goa is because Goa is geographically the smallest state in India, and if you see the extent of MPT's port limits, it is huge. So it is going to make a huge impact on a small state like Goa. It may not affect other states like Maharashtra and all that, because their territories are large. For Goa, it will impact. And also, if you see the strategic position, they are right in the middle of Goa, right in the Zuari river, which actually separates North and South Goa district. And then they go across the coast to to up to ROC and then Betul. So strategically also it is located in a very uncomfortable place as far as Goa is concerned. I think the state government has to worry. I am aware that the assembly has passed some resolutions, but I do not know what is the impact or effect of these things that they are doing. But I think the people of Goa should now think seriously. This is definitely going to affect us, and this is definitely going to affect our children.
What could be the solution or two?
Solution is very simple. See, if you see the Major Ports Authorities Act 2021 per se is not a bad legislation. What it intends to do is to give financial autonomy and administrative autonomy to the government port, so that they can compete with the private ports. So even tariffs now are earlier we used to have a tariffs authority for major ports, TAMP. So tariffs now can be fixed by the each major port. So they will decide their own tariffs, which will be in competition to the private ports. Even now, for any major policy decision, they don't have to go to the Ministry of Shipping. They have been given full autonomy, and they can do, to as far as decision making, the speed of the decision making is concerned. But in that, the only objectionable provision is from section 22 to 26, where all these powers have been given to the Major Ports Authority. My only point is that the Major Ports Authority Act 2021 can be amended, and Mormungao Port can be exempted with only with respect to the its exemption from taking the permissions of the local government and the local bodies with respect to section 22 to 26 of the act. If that is done, Goa's problem will be by and large resolved. I have no problem with the MPT becoming autonomous. It's a good thing actually. Let them do whatever they want. But this particular power, which is a draconian power, which is given to them, this power should be taken out insofar as Mormungao Port is concerned. Rest of the states they can tackle their issue. As far as Goa is concerned, only Mormungao Port should be exempted from these particular provisions.
Do you foresee any more privatization in the port with this kind of?
Definitely, because what will happen is the Major Ports Authorities Act also enables the corporatization of the port and to listing it on the stock exchange. So tomorrow you can have one large corporate coming, or a group of conglomeration of corporates coming. They can buy a major stake, and in that they will have a control over how the port functions. They will have a control over the port's assets, which will also include the port's limits. The area within the port's limits. So they will be able to do indirectly what they could not do directly. They will be able to take over this land and use it for the purposes to serve their interests, not the interests of the people and the state of Goa. Sometimes I wonder whether we should rename Mormungao Taluka as the Union Territory of Mormungao, because right now people of Mormungao are aware, even if you want to construct a compound wall in your property, you require prior permission of the Indian Navy. Now you have this Mormungao Port Authority, which is encircling you in all directions. So anything and everything that happens in Mormungao Taluka henceforth, you will require the consent and permission, or you will have to see some central government body or authority or the other. So again, whether we should rename Mormungao as the Union Territory of Mormungao, I think is a larger question that people and our leaders should answer.